What's going on, guys? Welcome to Time Dropper for another 24-minute recap. Jesus, I was thinking we were in last year, 24-minute recap. Nah, welcome to Time Dropper for another post-game recap. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe on YouTube at Time Dropper Podcast, Apple Podcast. Leave a review if you'd like. Follow us on Spotify, and of course, to follow us on all social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Time Dropper Pod. So for tonight's episode, it's going to be a shorter one. It was just one game on the schedule tonight for me, Clippers and the Magic. Two Clipper games in a row after coming off the 35-point win last night in DC. Check that recap out. Recap out if you're interested or haven't heard it, because it was a historic night. Largest comeback since 1996. Today, obviously, before I get going, I want to say, as appropriate, it's been 2 years since one of the worst days in my mind, and definitely in my life, but also just for basketball fans. We really miss you, Kobe. Had a huge influence in my life. Miss all the people on that. Shout out to all the people on that helicopter, man. Obviously, Kobe is so famous. We usually talk about him, but the Mauser family, Altobelli family, Chester family. Condolences to them. I know it's a tough day for everybody and especially them. But, I don't want to reflect on that day really for you guys because I've talked about it so many times. And also I reference Kobe and talk about him so much in the podcast already and in the show already and make so much content on him. So I feel like I give my tribute in that way. So everybody knows how I feel about Bean. I mention him every night because we watch the Lakers, and it's hard not to compare guys to Kobe when you're watching greatness and high expectations in a Laker uniform. But let's get into the Clippers tonight. We're playing in Orlando. Still no Marcus Morris Sr. Same starting lineup as last night. Reggie Jackson, Zubats, and Nicholas Batum back into the lineup after being benched in the second half. And, of course, Amir Coffey and Terrence Mann, who have been our Energizer bunnies and great length defensively to guard the premier guys in the other teams for these games. For the Magic, it was Wendell Carter Jr., Mo Bamba, Cole Anthony, Franz Wagner, and Jalen Suggs, a bunch of guys that have been in the league for less than 5 years. And Jalen Suggs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he did not play us last time. When I went to the game and Reggie Jackson made that game winner, he didn't play us. So this is my first look at him in a Magic uniform. Besides the Laker game, I believe he did play against the Lakers or another game. I've seen him play once this season, but he impressed me. And I know I saw him at Gonzaga. Obviously, everybody remembers that shot he made from basically half court to knock off UCLA in the final four. But he is really, really athletic, and the way he went up strong and was attacking the basket in the first half really impressed me. Going up strong, right at the teeth of the defense. There was one time where he was on a fast break. I think this was in the second half, though. And he went right at the chest of Terrence Mann, just bounced off of Terrence just bounced off of him, or Jalen just bounced off of him and went up, double clutch, hung in the air for the layup. And he showed me some stuff. He definitely showed me some stuff a couple of times where he was around the basket and he chose to dunk over layup. And, he's not the tallest guy in the world. So that impressed me. He had an efficient night, 14 points on 6 of 10 shooting. And I thought the Magic just came out with some energy, but I don't think the Clippers lacked energy. Our defense was good. Amir Coffey, Terrence Mann doing a good job getting over screens and using their length. And Amir Coffey and Terrence are really starting to just grow as players in more ways than one. We know about their defense and their effort, but I've been saying all season, especially when we lose games, when we've lost those games at home in the vlogs, I've been saying that we need to develop Terrence more on the ball, as a ball handler, because in the pick and roll, Terrence definitely can get downhill. If bigs are dropping in the drop coverage, that mid-range game, he has a good understanding of when to take that shot, and so does Amir, and I think that keeps the defense honest. And when they're knocking that shot down, even if they're 1 of 3 for that shot, when a big is in drop coverage, they stop and pop at the elbow for the mid-range. Even if they're 1 for 3 for that shot, that one gets them thinking to step up a little bit, the illusion that he can make it. It's not like going up against a Rondo or a Ben Simmons type of situation. And that's starting to work for us. That Coffey is showing that he can hit that mid-range. That Terrence is showing that he can hit that mid-range. And then that lets defenses press up and lets them develop their passing game when guys help when they're going downhill. And Amir Coffey tonight really, really made some impressive plays in pick and roll or on dribble handoffs, like coming downhill and swinging passes to the weak side to guys like Eric Bledsoe, guys like Nico Batum for open threes. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like Amir Coffey navigating screens, picking his angles, going side to side, like waiting for the angle that he likes for when Zubac sets the screen or Hartenstein sets the screen. I'm so impressed. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Like the Brewmaster, this is the guy that we talked about amongst Clipper Nation. Yeah, I don't know how long he's going to be in the NBA. Can he ever break into our rotation? He probably won't be good enough to get in our rotation with this win now mentality that we have going. He's good when we have guys injured or load management situations, but with everybody healthy, is Amir Coffey's not going to play. Well, I was whoever said that, and I was definitely one of those people that was not sure. We are being proven wrong every second now because Amir Coffey, the Brewmaster, the Brim Reaper, is going to be a piece and a rotation piece to stay, even with Kawhi and Paul George, because there is no such thing in this league today as too many guys that play defense, try hard, have length, and can knock down open threes. And Amir Coffey can do a little bit more than that. He can also get to the basket as well. And yeah, Amir was great. Terrence Mann, Reggie Jackson, he did not have a great shooting night. And again, I mean, 2 shooting nights in a row. I thought that he was going to bounce back tonight. I'm not going to lie. And he did not shooting the ball. He made some shots late, but over the course of the game, he got his looks, floaters, his mid-ranges coming off screens, wasn't hitting. But I thought that the Magic, it's funny because they were up by 14 points at one point, but we made just quick work of it by the end of the second quarter and had a 1-point lead going into the half. We closed that quarter well. And I thought that Eric Bledsoe, when they went up, when the Magic were going up, made some careless plays. There was one sequence where he threw a pass up the court, like basically across the court, and it got intercepted, and Jalen Suggs got a dunk out of it. And then there was another play right after. He was standing like 5 feet behind the 3-point line, spacing the floor, but no one's worried about him out there. So they were just loading up on Terrence, basically. And I'm like, dude, cut to the basket or sink a little bit in, or it was ridiculous. But overall, Eric, he still hit a couple of shots here and there even in the first half. But again, Isaiah Hartenstein, he only played 19 minutes tonight, but just doing his thing, setting screens, finishing around the basket. He was 2 of 3, finished a couple shots around the basket, and just doing the right things on defense, playing aggressive, and again, protecting the rim very well. And I just thought that we ended the second quarter well because guys like Luke Kennard were also just, continuing to hit. He was coming also, dribbling the ball, coming off pick and rolls, stopping and popping from the mid-range. Luke Kennard has that mid-range game. He really can shoot from all over the floor. One thing I've noticed about Luke, though, his weakness is at finishing around the basket. That's his weakness. He has a pretty decent floater, but right around the rim, he's like scared to take it too. Like you've noticed this. You guys noticed this, Clipper Nation, on fast breaks. Luke Kennard stops for a lot of transition threes. I think he doesn't like going to the rim and finishing up there. He doesn't get off the ground really like that. And it's just a skill he doesn't have right now, but he can develop it. He needs to just be, try to get to the rim more. And that's one thing you don't have to worry about with Terrence and Amir Coffey. They go up strong. They're athletic. They're tough. They will go right to the rim at the big man. And we saw more of that tonight. Nicholas Batum, nice bounce back game for him tonight. 12 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. I thought in the third quarter, the Magic made it pretty interesting. They played with some energy. Cole Anthony, he played with some energy, and he's a good player. He's shifty. He has some really questionable shots, though, that he took, like deep threes tonight, contested. I know he's capable of hitting some shots like that, but again, you know how I feel about contested threes. Not a great shot for anybody. And I used to say, like, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, these guys, Steph Curry right now is really struggling shooting the ball. But Cole Anthony, he played pretty well, like 5 of 11, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists. And then Jalen Suggs, 14 points on 6 of 10. But this team is just so young. You know what I mean? Like, Gary Harris is like and Terrence Ross are the closest things to vets that they have. And like, they're not like high IQ vets. Gary Harris came in the league less than 10 years ago. Like, they just don't have any experience around these young guys. So they're just a team that's just right now not very good. They're going to make a lot of mistakes. They're just not that great. So The Clippers played well tonight. They were organized. They knew what they had to do on defense. As I said, switching the right actions, being in drop coverage on the right actions on the screens. The big men coming up and hedging hard when need be against shooters. And they just did their job and played with effort. And on a back-to-back, that's all you can ask for as a fan. And we did the job. And again, you got to give credit to the coaching staff. They have the guys motivated, ready to play. They play intelligently on the defensive end. We've been one of the more solid defensive teams all year. And that's how you get it done. Defensive end. That's how you win basketball games and championships. I'm always pro defense first, always. And we developed that. We have developed that this season. And a big reason for that is Ivica Zubac. Down low, protecting the rim. He really outplayed Wendell Carter Jr. to me tonight. Wendell had 11 points, 9 rebounds, 4 of 10. But he had some moments where he did not trust the jump hook. He did not look confident in his postgame at all. Stats don't look like it, but Wendell Carter Jr. got 9 more minutes. Zoo had 8.7 rebounds on 3 of 8. But his 2 shots late in the game, jump hook with his right hand, and then that left-handed little kind of a jump hook right outside the key was just off the pump fake was just beautiful and pretty much sealed the game for us. And in that fourth quarter, Eric Bledsoe I should say the end of the third quarter, Eric Bledsoe cut it down to a 2-point game. We were only down by 2 going into the fourth because Eric Bledsoe, despite what I said earlier, the thing about Eric is he just has unshakable confidence with his jump shot for whatever reason. And he's bound to make some eventually. And he hit a 3, and then he actually had a really nice move where he was going downhill and then little step back, stop and pop, or drive and step back to his right for a little 10-footer. And it was really nice. And in the fourth quarter, we got a little more Luke Kennard, got a little bit more of the Brewmaster. And that there was an open 3 that Luke Kennard hit on a scramble in the fourth quarter. That was huge. Absolutely huge. But the Ivica Zubac plays, and also, the Ivica Zubac plays late in the game, those shots were big. But I also do not want to forget about Justice Winslow, who was very big in the fourth quarter with his offensive rebounds and the physicality that he brought. Guarding the ball, he did a really good job. I think Amir, Terrence Mann, and Justice Winslow all did a really good job fighting over screens and not giving up too much, not putting our big men, Zoo and Isaiah, in situations where they basically had to guard 2 players at once. You always saw Winslow or Amir or Terrence on their hip, and that's just great to have that kind of length and effort on our team. And Justice Winslow getting offensive rebounds, playing that kind of defense, being able to switch and guard multiple positions was really big for us in that fourth quarter. And Reggie Jackson ended up making some big shots at the end of the game, including a pretty big 3 to put us up 96-87 with 5.5 left. That was big. And the Clippers went on to win it. 111-102. 3-2 on this road trip now. 2 wins in a row. And tonight we came back from a 14-point deficit, which seems like chump change or nothing compared to the Minnie Mouse compared to 35 points last night. But there's no quitting this team. Amir Coffey's getting better by the day. Terrence Mann he's starting to trust his jump shot more, and his jump shot is starting to improve, and not just open 3s. Coming off the screen, stop and pop from the elbow, Chris Paul style, right elbow. Terrence Mann, Amir Coffey, the Brewmaster, Ivica Zubac, Brandon Boston Jr. We got some great Luke Kennard. We got some great young players over in Clay. Let's go to the lines for the game tonight. For the Clippers, I should say. 35-24, by the way, in the fourth quarter for the Clippers. I already said Nico Batum, 12.7 rebounds on 4 of 7 shooting. I said Ivica Zubac, 8.7 rebounds on 3 of 8 shooting. Reggie Jackson, only 9 points. He had 4 turnovers as well, 3 of 11 from the field and 1 of 3 from 3, but that 1 3 was very big. Terrence Mann, 14 points, no rebounds, extremely rare for him. 6 of 9 from the field and 2 of 2 from 3. And the Brewmaster, 19 points. He was our leading scorer tonight. 5 of 12 from the field and 3 of 6 from 3. Also 6 of 6 from the line from the Brewmaster. So you got to love it. And then Luke Kennard, 17 points on 6 of 9 from the field and 2 of 3 from 3. Another great game for him. Brandon Boston Jr. only played 9 minutes tonight. He was 2 of 3 and had 5 points. But Eric Bledsoe, I'm going to end it with him. 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists on 5 of 14 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3. Like, there's just no reason why Eric Bledsoe should be shooting 7 threes in a game. He shot more threes than Amir Coffey. He shot more threes than Nico Batum. And he shot more threes than Luke Kennard. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And Justice Winslow, the last one, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals in 23 minutes of play. Even though he was 0 of 4, he still had 7 points because he got to the line 8 times. That was more than anyone else on our team. 8 times getting to the line. That's because he was playing rugged, going straight to the rim, bulldozing, and you got to give him a shout out. He has had some good moments in this road trip. 25-25 is the record for the Clippers now. The Magic haven't even won, the Tragic, I should say, haven't even won 10 games. So, yeah, sucks to suck, right? They're pretty poverty right now. But, hey, that's all for me tonight, guys. Thank you for joining me. Super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. Now we go to the live subscribers waiting patiently in the chat on this quiet night when the Clippers beat a Magic team that's sorry as shit. Good night, guys. And shout out to the Black Mamba. We love you and miss you, man. More content on you to come. What's up, y'all? Wow. Nobody likes seeing the Clippers win. I thought going earlier would be good for the live, but literally 3 people, that's absurd, man. Jesus. I'm going to get off soon. Yeah, Magic are in deep poverty. What's up, Andrew M? That was a big dub. Nothing? Wow. It's just way too quiet. What's up, Spencer? Yeah, Clippers 15 of 29 from 3 tonight, 52% overall, and 24 of 27 from the line, 89%. By the way, there was some ridiculous. So what's it called? There was some ridiculous fouls that the Magic got tonight. Like one that Cole Anthony shot a 3, and he just Luke Kennard just bumped him on the landing with natural momentum. It was ridiculous. No update. Fred Boomer says any update on Kawhi Paul George status to come back for the playoffs? No. Thoughts on Jalen Suggs? I already said my thoughts. I mean, he was aggressive. I was really impressed with his tenacity going to the basket. You know what I mean? Like he's finishing around the rim. Daniel Clifford says, big day standing wise for us tomorrow. Need the Lakers and T-Wolves to lose. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. One can hope. All right, guys. I'll catch y'all. Peace. Oh, well, let's see. Thoughts on why West is so bad this year compared to years past? Well, let's look at the teams. I mean, you have to look at the individual teams. Like the Oklahoma City Thunder are the same as last year. Basically, probably a little bit better. I guess they got Josh Giddey now. The Spurs are on the decline, right? The Kings are the Kings. The Timberwolves are on the uprise. But think about it. The Clippers are injured. That's huge. Jamal Murray's injured. That's big too. The Lakers suck. That's been unexpected. So, it's just the conference changes and the East got better, really. I think that's what it is. A lot of talents in the East now. Daniel Clifford says we finally crawled back to 500 as well today. Facts. Jonathan Jacob Q says, Dime, do you think the game against the Rams was Brady's last game? No, I don't. I think he's going to play another season at least. I think next season he's gonna announce maybe before the season that this is his last season. That guy Spencer says, I think PG is coming back. He would have had surgery if he needed to. I think we might make a push. We'll see. You could be right. DC Stowe says, Rated R Sports Debates Live. What does that mean? Andrew M says, what teams do you think has a bigger chance of making it out of the East? Heat or Bulls? Bucks or Bulls? I think that if it's the Heat and the Bucks, I'd say the Bucks because they're defending champs. If it's the Bulls, I say the Heat. Spencer says, I think Bucks have the best chance. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate y'all. Oh, let's see. Andrew M says, how would you rank these athletes? Brady, LeBron, and Ronaldo? It's hard to say in terms of like what, how good they are at their sport. God. With all due respect to Ronaldo, I think I'd put him at the last one. But I really love his drive. That guy Spencer says, this Clipper team has topped the charts with heart. Yo, Spencer, how about Zubats tonight? How about Zubats in the fourth quarter? It's big. You'll be at the game on the 3rd. What game is that? Who we playing? I may be there depending on who we're playing. Jonathan Jakob Q says, I'd say Brady 1, LeBron 2, and Ronaldo 3. All right, guys. I'll catch y'all. I apologize. He says, Zoo has come up big. Yeah, we'll see, though. There's still a lot of season to be played. Hopefully he keeps it up. All right. Peace out, y'all.